Even while working in Austin, Alicia Freilich and Paul Ortner broke ground in Liberty Hill to stretch out a bit in this peaceful countryside. To their original 4 acres, later they added 9 adjacent ones to protect the wildlife that called this home. That's one reason they built the pond.
I had friends with ponds, and I had aquariums for a long time, and it was something I knew I was going to do, but it was just a matter of when.
Alicia picked the spot even as they sited the house.
A neighbor of ours who has a backhoe dug the hole for us. I did the rock work, and then we bought some of the rock, and I had collected rock over the years. We had gone to Prague, and where Paul's family's from, and we love the cobblestones. And I just thought, we've got to have little paths. This is all Craigslist, and my brother gave us some.
The funny story about that was, as I was laying those, I got to about where the little table is there, and ran out of bricks. And they were all red, and so, well, a couple black or gray, whatever. So I called a friend of mine that works for a brick place, and he said, yeah, we've got, but only gray, and we want them out of here, so, we'll sell them to you real cheap. So I went and got them. Then I had to figure out that if I took out every 4th row and replaced it with gray, I would have enough to finish. I enjoy doing it.
With building finished, they moved into their outdoor living room to take a break. The tiki umbrella adds over-the-top dimension at the far view while blunting sunlight through the tree canopy.
It gets so hot in the summer that we wanted something that we can sit and enjoy the pond and not just fry.
Alicia is a confirmed rockhound, finding them, stacking them, tracing their imprinted geological history. Sometimes she dry stacks and other times mortars. When Provence lavender captivated her at the Blanco Lavender Festival, she added them to this well-drained bed.
The dry stack wall around the house area is 600 foot. The dry stack on the berm is another 400 foot, and then that doesn't count any of the mortared stuff that she's done.
When we were clearing the land and we could mow certain areas and stuff, but there were so many rocks, and so I just wanted the rocks out of the way, and so I started at the bottom near the goat house and started building there, and I would just put the rocks, just build up. And then other people that just want rocks off of their ranch, and I asked them if I could have them, and they're happy to let me take them.
We were younger then.
Those are some very pleasant memories too, because we'd go out into a field with cows and stuff, and just and be out there after work and just collecting rock until it got too dark. I used to have a small truck, and the rock I bought, the sandstone I bought, and when I went to pick it up,
the guy just looked at it.
And no, he put it in the car, and the truck just went way low.
Paul found garage sale table legs to support Alicia's handmade stone table. A slab of fossil limestone makes the bench.
This thing was inspired from some friends of ours.
A friend at Inks Lake donated slices of his cypress tree when it died. Alicia and Paul quickly turned them into all kinds of things, including a tabletop mounted on a cut-down cedar stump. Some of their inspiration comes when they're flat worn out.
Mostly the joy comes from the work to me, but we'll get real tired, and we have little places where we can sit
down, drink some water,
and drink some water, and maybe
long.
30 minutes, and then we get back to work.
When we were building the walkway to the greenhouse, we were on a break sitting in some chairs, and we realized we saw a hummingbird and followed it and found the hummingbird nest. And I'd always wanted to see a hummingbird nest and was never able to find one, and that's how we found it.
One of those relaxing moments inspired the greenhouse, built mostly with Craigslist finds and anchored with old telephone poles.
I don't think it's as available now as it was back, when we did that, but you can get telephone poles free. And in our case, they even delivered them. We planted them in the ground, and then we just built the walls in between them and made for a greenhouse that's not going to go anywhere.
It adjoins an enclosed deer-proof garden for vegetables and other deer munchies. To critter-proof from below and style it up, Alicia rocked the sides. Alicia painted some rocks for a dash of color and to ID plants for folks who tour the gardens. Paul recycled pruned out cedar for the pot corral.
We built that because I had all these pots and all this, and it looked sort of ugly. Just
Well, and the wind would blow
yeah,
them
the
all
wind
over the
would
yard.
blow. Yeah, and I'd have pots everywhere. Then we covered it with cedar from our yard. Paul figured out how to wire it up.
Alicia floored it with free granite leftovers from a rock supplier.
The old tabletop was wood and it went bad, so we had always wanted to try a cement project. And so we put plywood down, put sides on it, poured 4 bags of concrete, I think it was, mixed up and poured in there. And then she took leaves from around the property and mashed them down in there and then stained it.
Down the hill, their Ladybanks rose arbor is home to a nesting mockingbird. Alicia used metal lathe over cement board to stucco the bottom. Now she's rocking her way around it.
And that we just enjoy looking at the wildlife over there.
Their rainwater collection tanks supply all the water for the house and gardens. Further down the slope, enter Storybook Cottage land.
It's cordwood construction.
The base frame is block, and then in between all of the uprights, it's called cordwood construction, where you cut limbs at 8 inches wide, and then they're mortared in place just like they were bricks, but they're going lengthwise. So the entire wall, all the way around, is 8 inches thick.
The stained window effect comes from cut wine bottles. Based on cinder blocks, this cottage is actually home to their goats, Bella and Emma. How did they get into goats?
Alicia went to a thing in Dripping Springs over a weekend where she was going to learn how to milk goats and make cheese. And the last thing I said was, "Don't bring home a goat. We have no place to put a goat." So she shows up Sunday night with a baby goat in the front seat of her car.
Emma's ankle birth defect ended her motherhood career to lactate for goat cheese, but she doesn't mind, especially when she gets to hang out with her buddy, Jack. One of Alicia's most ambitious projects was digging out a pond to save a tree. Then she built it up with rocks. It's become a hangout for all the neighbors.
The rocks that we're doing on the creek bed, we found a guy on the road back up behind us here that had a bunch of rock he wanted to get rid of. So our neighbor has a backhoe and a dump trailer. And so we were getting 3 huge buckets full in the dump trailer at once. And so we got a lot of rock that way.
Sure, it's a lot of work, but they've built strong neighborly connections along with strong backs. Plus, it's a great excuse to get out of the office.
I worked in accounting and at a desk.
It's an escape from something. I'm not sure what.
It's just fun. It's just fun.